Hey, family, Port City coming right back at y'all with this African history, culture, and greatness. I really hope all you guys are doing all good out there. All right. Now, I am your curator, Port City, and it's my job basically to help you restore your African consciousness and help you restore your African historical amnesia. Okay. We got to get back. All right. So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. All right. So for those who haven't checked out my last video, I suggest you go ahead and check that video out. I talk about African genetic DNA, kind of where we all come from collectively. A lot of people are misunderstood about where we come from, where our origin, where our DNA is from. So I suggest you go ahead and look at that video, give it a good like. There's some really good information in there. Okay. Especially if you want to know a good understanding of, where you're from. All right, family. So the topic tonight is we're going to talk about the Christians that enslaved the Africans. All right, family. That's a hot topic. Now, my question to you, family, is who were Africans praying to before religion? You don't really got to answer that question, but think about it and let it marinate in your head, right? Who was Africans praying to before their enslavement? Okay. Like, you ever think about that? All right. So tonight, I got a couple of slides to show you. I got a couple of book references to show you. And we're going to, I'm going to present the case of who and what we were a little bit before our capture, enslavement, kidnapping, whatever you want to call it, and how we got to this way. We weren't always subscribing to a Jesus. And this might hurt a lot of us Africans that subscribe to Christianity. But you guys need to know how you guys were introduced to Christianity. All right, family. So I am going to go ahead and try to share my screen. Forgive me if any of this stuff breaks up. All right. Just give me a minute, family. All right. But what I'm going to do is show you guys a book here titled Slave Religion, right? And this particular book, on page 6 of this book, it talks about Portuguese missionaries coming in to West Africa trying to convert Africans and how hard it was. You know what I'm saying, family? How we weren't talking about Jesus or any of that stuff while we were minding our African businesses. All right. So on page 6, it talks about this cat named John Barbot and his accounts of Guinea when he was in there around 1682. And I'll read a little bit of this. It says the Portuguese missionaries have undergone great labors and run mighty hazards to convert some of the Africans in the region of Gambia to Christianity. Ever since the beginning of the last and during this century, but with little success. So it says for some, they seem to embrace the doctrines, yet many are mixed with pagan idolatry, and others are soon baptized. Then they return to their wild, natural state of living. You hear that? So they pretty much said we were savages and all of this crazy stuff. But one thing we weren't Christians, and we weren't subscribing to any of the biblical texts, and we weren't going around saying Jesus. This right here tells you this was as late as the 1600s. Now, mind you, it was the Christian nation, the Portugal or the Portuguese, that enslaved us. Okay, family. Again, this book right here is titled Slave Religions, the Invisible Institution in the Antebellum South. This is page 6. And this is a firsthand written account about who we were when they came in contact with us at this time. Even in the 1600s, we were not subscribing to a Jesus. We had our own thing going on. All right. So I want to bring to you another document that initiated this whole thing. Like, how did we get in this situation in the first place? And this goes back to the 1400s. All right. Now, the first Christian nation to enslave Africans was Spain and the Portuguese. And it was these Christian Catholic popes that put it down. All right. Now, what we're looking at is a document that was composed in 1452 on June the 18th. And it reads, Pope Nicholas V issued a papal bull Dum Diversa on 18th June 1452. This authorized Alfonso V of Portugal to reduce any Saracens, Muslims, and pagans, and any other unbelievers. See, at this time, they was trying to kick out the Moors. Well, that's a whole nother thing. But it says to perpetual slavery. Okay. This facilitated the Portuguese slave trade from West Africa. The same Pope wrote the bull Ramnus Pontifice on January 5th of 1455 to the same Alfonso as a follow-up to the Dum Diversa. It extended the Catholic nations of European domination over discovered land during the Age of Discovery, along with sanctifying the seizure of non-Christian lands, meaning they can just come in and take anybody land if you're a non-Christian believer, and encourage the enslavement of natives and non-Christian people in Africa. So we can take your land and enslave you, especially if you African and if you don't believe in our Jesus. Okay, family, this document is important because this particular document is the initiator. They had our enslavement backed by the church. You understand, family? Like, come on, man, we got to wake the hell up. These are Christian, Bible thumping people that did this. All right, now we're going to look at these slave castle right here. The first castle, this is the Amina Castle in the west coast of Ghana. All right, and this is where they had us at. This is where the door of no return is, people. And these were Christian people enslaving us. Our non-believers was in there being enslaved. Look at these images, okay? Now, there's one image that I want to show you guys, if it's even on here. There's an image on the left here where I'm circling at. This is, I believe, is a church, y'all, on top of a slave dungeon, family. You understand how these Christians rode? You understand how these Catholics rode? That's it right there. This is a little close up. Now, the Portuguese, right? The Portuguese established this castle in the 1400s, and it was soon taken over by the British. Okay. This is a slave dungeon. They had a slave dungeon for males. They had a slave dungeon for females, and they would take the females and do as what they want with them. You hear me, family? You hear me, family? Okay. This is the door no return. I hope you guys are seeing this. I hope I'm not breaking up. But this right here, this particular image that you're looking at is the door of no return. Our ancestors had to go through this door and never see their homeland again, while these Christians had a church upstairs, separated from your family forever. Your history is gone. Your spiritual belief system, as you know it, is fragmented forever. You know what I'm saying, people? These are Christian people in the name of Jesus. And y'all talking about y'all want to be Christians. I'm sorry, but y'all got to know the truth. Okay, family? But that's what this is. This is called the door of no return. Meaning once you go through this door, you ain't gonna never be the same. Your generations of family ain't gonna never be the same. You understand what I'm saying, people? All right. Now it told y'all on page 6 that we weren't believing in any daggone spiritual system called Christianity. Okay, family. So we need to understand that. All right. So most of the West Africans that was enslaved are Yoruba, Igbo, etc. A lot of Nigerians. Shout out to Nigeria. And we wasn't on that. Now, another book that I want to show you guys, it is titled The Encyclopedia of African Religions. And this particular book is about $444. I don't even got it. This is one of my wish list books right here. But I suggest if y'all can afford to get it, get it. It's a really good text. This talks about who, our spiritual systems, comprehensive information pertaining a lot of information on West African spiritual systems, East African spiritual systems, anything that you want to know pertaining our religions, our indigenous religion. And I don't know if I can't find it, fam, give me a minute. But yeah, family, that's how it went down. We were kidnapped and taken away from our homeland, and this so-called Christianity was forced on us. We weren't talking about Jesus off the boat or before we got on the boat. And y'all read how hard it was. They said it was hard trying to convert us initially, but when you start breeding Africans and you start doing things, we start having kids on this side, we it's hard to keep a spiritual system intact. They talks about that. So hang on, fam. Give me a minute. I can't find this. If I can't find it, I'm just gonna go out. But yeah, this talks about different spiritual belief systems that we had. You know what? I'm not gonna slow you guys up because it's taking a little bit too long for me to find that. But what I will do is go back to this slave religion book right here, just to show you guys on page 6 that we weren't on this stuff, even in the 1600s. I don't know what they talking about, and it said it had a hard time. It was great labors with mighty hazards, meaning we was fighting, kicking, screaming, all of that. Y'all ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? We ain't want that on us, but eventually, we had to accept this in more ways than one. All right. So that's how we were introduced. I'm going to take my screen off. I couldn't find what I wanted to find in that book. That's how we were introduced to Christianity. By force, by the knife, by the whip. They were on a by any means necessary with that to try to soften us up, because if we really had our African minds and was reminded of who we were, and our African spirit didn't break, we were some rebellious people. The African spirit is a rebellious spirit, straight up. So please get the book. This is what the book looks like, family. Slave Religion. I got that one. I can afford that one. But that's a really good book. That's page 6, by the way. Really good text. I suggest you guys grab that, look at it. And for those who haven't looked at my last video, go ahead and check that out. That's a really good video too. I talked about the origin of our DNA, kind of where we come from collectively, because genetically speaking, we have the same lineage. But a lot of people think we come from outside of Africa, and I quite frankly break that down. You guys need to take a look at it. There's a genetic study that went down, and it told us exactly where we're from and what part of Africa. Is a great big region too. So I just suggest you guys look at that video at your earliest convenience. But I'm going to leave y'all with that, family. I just wanted to break down a little bit. Whenever I find that information on that book, I'm gonna make a whole presentation about it. That book is so big, it's just hard to find things that I really want to find in it, and I ain't want to bore you guys. But page 6 of Slave Religions is sufficient enough. And go ahead and read that document that the Pope initiated our enslavement. All of that stuff is really good supportive evidence to how we became who we are. And I hope that gave you some value. If it did, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you guys want to support me, I suggest you guys go to portcityvibe.com. Get you one of these necklaces. I got you. All right, family. Stay tuned, and I will come right back at you guys with some more African history, culture, and greatness. You guys take care, family. I'm out.